Eating gluten-free at Disney World is actually really easy if you know the places to go. So here are my favorites as someone who is a chef and Disney lover with celiac disease and determined to have the best gluten-free food wherever I go. Starting at Magic Kingdom, the two places I always go are Casey's Corner and Columbia Harbor House for more fast casual food. Now if you want a nicer sit down, I recommend Be Our Guest, which I didn't go to this time, but is always a favorite of mine. First up is Casey's Corner on Main Street. It's perfect for lunch. It has the best hot dogs and you can request a gluten-free bun and fries. Now I will say the normal bun is obviously better than the gluten-free bun. The gluten-free bun is a bit dry, but the hot dog is worth it. I give it an 8 out of 10 because the bread is dry.
The bread is not very good. The hot dog is 10 out of 10.
I feel like the bread is kind of dry because not a lot of people order it, so it's probably old, but it is totally worth it and a great lunch spot. Now this is a fact, if you're looking for the best chicken that's gluten-free in Disney World, go to Columbia Harbor House. It is phenomenal. It tastes like Burger King's like chicken fry things. It is so good. I will say Disney's fried food tends to be the best for gluten-free, even though it's heavy.
It's 10 out of 10. Kind of like the Burger King. Delicious.
Now, I think Epcot is the best for snacks, drinks, and desserts, and I'm not going to go over like the Festival of the Art food or the specialty food. I'm going to go over the food that's always there. One of the best gluten-free desserts at Disney can be found in Epcot in Morocco at the bakery called Oasis. Their almond pastry and their pistachio are both gluten-free, and the almond one is truly so good. I wish I gotten 2 of those instead of the pistachio.
That's really good. It's like marzipan. Look at 8 out of 10.
Now the pistachio one was technically fine, just so coconutty.
Oh my god. Like too coconutty. 100% recommend this one. It's fantastic.
Now Epcot is my favorite for drinks. My old favorite used to be the espresso martini at Italy, which is a classic and delicious. I would say one of Disney's better espresso martinis.
Honestly good. Surprisingly good. Very overpriced, but good.
Now, my new favorite drink is over in Norway in this bakery, and it is called the Viking Coffee. It is basically like a creamy, slushy espresso martini, and oh my god, it's so good. You just have to order it without the toppings to make gluten-free.
This is still bad lighting. Girl, I don't know how you just missed your shoe. It is so good. A must.
Now make your way over to Hollywood Studios for what I think is the best quick service restaurant in all of Disney World, Woody's Lunchbox. I honestly only eat here when I go to Hollywood Studios because it is better than everything else, so why waste my time on any other restaurant? They have a lot of gluten-free options. My favorite is their grilled cheese and tomato soup, but they also have their breakfast tachos and a breakfast brisket sandwich that is gluten-free. I like to go here for both breakfast and lunch. It's that good. And here's an example of what it looks like up close, a great grilled cheese. And then here's the non-gluten stuff that my sister gets. Phenomenal. If only they would make the Pop-Tart gluten-free too, it would be perfect. Now off to Animal Kingdom. It is an absolute must that you go to Nomad's Lounge. They have the best churros, maybe in the world, but also definitely the best churros in all of Disney, and they are gluten-free. My sister even says they're better than Disney's normal churros. They're soft, airy, served with this vanilla sauce that I could actually drink. My sister and I both have our own orders because we love them this much.
Best gluten-free thing on property.
Now let's move to my favorite spots outside of the parks, but still on property, starting at the Grand Floridian Cafe. I feel like this spot is wildly underrated, but they have a lot of gluten-free options that are great for dinner and lunch. They have gluten-free bread that's pretty good, and I also enjoyed their salads, but my favorite surprisingly was their vegetable curry with grilled chicken. It was just super flavorful and nice to have a vegetable in there since Disney food is quite heavy. Everyone that we were with, which we had a pretty big group for this meal, absolutely loved this meal and was shocked by how good this cafe is since it's kind of underrated. Now, if you want a delicious dessert cocktail, go to Narcoossee's at the Grand Floridian. It's super beautiful and their espresso martini is a must. And we also got their key lime pie drink. It was just very heavy on the lime, so note that. Now head over to the Polynesian Kona Cafe for the best off-menu gluten-free breakfast. It's called their Tonga Toast, basically gluten-free French toast with strawberry syrup. Their gluten-filled one obviously is better, but I enjoyed eating French toast for the first time in years here. For the best gluten-free bakery at Disney, go to Aaron McKenna's at Disney Springs. We loved the cookie sandwich and the lemon loaf, but avoid the cupcake, it was a bit dry. To my knowledge, it's the only gluten-free bakery on property and honestly worth the trip to Disney Springs.
This doesn't even taste gluten-free. What? 10 out of 10. Very lemony. Also, 10 out of 10.
Now, here are 3 spots I tried for the first time this past trip to test out the new gluten-free foods, and I absolutely hated, so I would avoid, starting with Tony's. This is where Italian food comes to die. Sorry, Tony lovers, I know they have good cheesy bread, but us celiacs can't even eat that, and I got their vodka pasta. It was so watery, it was foul, the chicken was like rubber. I would give this like a 3 out of 10, honestly. I hated this meal and was mad I even ate here. My sister had the same pasta and hers was significantly better. The sauce actually looked like sauce instead of a watery, soupy mess, so I would avoid if you have gluten issues. Next to avoid was Steakhouse 71 in the Contemporary. Ugh, I wanted to love this spot, but the vibes were like you were in a conference room and they were serving you catered Longhorns. I actually think a steak at Longhorns would be better, I'm not even lying. Like, look how sad this steak looks. It looks like a microwave meal, I'm not even kidding. I would rank this like a 3 out of 10. I would never return here. And finally, something I would never get again, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but the Dole Whip. This is my first time having Dole Whip and I honestly was very underwhelmed. I'd rather have ice cream.
Aloha.
And that's a wrap on gluten-free Disney. What would you add to this list?
It's fine.